Hello and welcome to Richa
Done.
Chadha, one of the most talented actors and now producer as well in the Hindi film industry. And I think she's quite marvelous. I just saw some of Hira Mandi, 4 episodes, and I thought you were so good in it, Richa. To do tragedy with dignity is very difficult,
Mm.
that little
Yeah.
line between tragedy and sort of, being bechari and not being a bechari is a very fine line. And I thought you did that so beautifully. And you, of course, look so delicious in Hira Mandi. And you really, it's so spectacular and it's so absorbing, it sort of just sucks you into its world. So many congratulations. And I thought you were just
Thank you,
marvelous.
Kaveri. Thank
And
you.
of course, I also saw Girls Will Be Girls, Shuchi Talati's
Oh,
movie, and I thought
lovely.
it's so wonderful that you're doing such exceptional work. To also create work for others is, I think,
Yeah.
truly something quite extraordinary in this day and age. So, but I'd like to begin with Hira Mandi, Richa, and talk to you about working in, and of course, working with Sanjay Leela Bhansali. It seems to be on every actor's checklist. So, how was it?
Yeah. It was actually really very rewarding. I worked with him before 10 years ago when I was kind of new and a very different person, I would say. And he too, I think people evolve. That's the thing with artists,
Yeah.
they're constantly evolving. Um, I really loved this outing because as an actor, I know what I need to get out of this whole experience.
Yeah.
Like people say he's difficult to work with and he's a hard taskmaster. I didn't find any of that to be true. In my experience, he was very generous, very exceptionally collaborative, uh, more so than any other director I've worked with, I would say. Um, apart from someone like Neeraj Ghewan or someone, who is themselves trying to explore the character with you. And he just has really high standards in terms of it's like like working with him is actually like cooking because there's people who make really simple food and then it's perfect. And then with him, it's like, what if I add this tadka to this preparation, or if I had add a hint of this to this, or he just wants everything to be exploratory and sort of layered, and it's not easy to do. So what he demands of you itself is not easy to do, but that's his cinema. Like he's not happy with just a perfectly choreographed sequence. He wants you to have a real breakdown in that moment as you are doing that sequence while the camera is placed on a round trolley. So even as you keep dancing, your focus keeps shifting every time you take a circle. Who you're spotting at has shifted. So it's like it's crazy, but it's oh sorry, don't mind my cat. She's just exploring and trying to find a nice place to nap at. Yeah, so that's I think that the real fun of it. And I've really enjoyed creating with him and just exploring myself and kind of in a very selfish way. I'm wanting to do this also to break the stereotype of someone who is, known to do these bholi Punjaban type of roles. So for me, that's the real greed of having people see me in this light and showcasing another skill set. So just very good, like pragmatically speaking. Yeah,
It's not just the
I
Boli,
can't
but
hear you.
yeah, it's not just the
Yeah.
Boli Punjaban, Richa. It's also, the woman, the hotshot, cricket boss of,
Yes. Inside edge. Yeah.
it's it's the woman of Oi Lucky Lucky Oi. It's the mother of gangs of Wasipur at a time when I
Yeah.
think you were so young. You were just starting
Yeah.
out. It's many different parts of you, and you've shown us all that. It's the
Mm.
Mayavati kind of politician of the film you did with Subhash Kapoor. So it's many. I mean, if you
Yeah.
look back on your career, it's actually full of just variety, you know. It's the
Yeah, I
top
mean,
of
that's the fun of it.
yeah, isn't it? It's but
Yeah.
yet I think when you get a role like this in Hiramandi, the role that you get, some things make it a little above the usual. And I think it's also the mounting of something like Hiramandi, which is so spectacular and exceptional. And all of you are just presented with so much love and care, you know, the attention to detail, every little
Mm,
thing. When you talk about that a scene where you have a breakdown while you're dancing,
mm.
it's really heartbreaking. I don't know how you did
Yeah,
it.
I was quite. It's a real breakdown. I think it was after multiple takes and I couldn't get it. And it, like, because the choreography had changed just in that moment. And I'm also a Kathak dancer, so I'm very wary of ever breaking form like that. There are rules in every dance, like ballet is very upright and delicate, and Bharatnatyam is always about squatting and getting the precision. But Kathak's about flow and precision. So if I would make a mistake even with my footwork, it it was like, and the thing is, it's like a round trolley shot. It's slowly that zooms into you also. So by the time you finish, uh, it's like, quite close. But I was also really concerned about how that might be received because it was so raw even for me. Like I remember coming back from that shoot and just uh, we had something the next day as well, pretty early on. But I remember not being able to even eat dinner and just I was so drained emotionally from having to experience that again and again that I just passed out for like straight 6.5 hours, which was luxury back then when the shoot is on. But yeah, I mean, this is what I mean by Bhansali. He just likes to layer things, and I feel like I really do feel like a very eager student when I work with him, as opposed to a lot of directors. Like, I mean, I don't mean to sound, pompous, but a lot of times you go on a set and you meet a director and he's like, "Oh, but you're so good, aap to kar loge." And I'm like, "No, I want to be directed. I want to be the student." And with Bhansali, what's fun is the more you're willing to get out of this experience, the more you're willing to, sublimate yourself, completely destroy your sense of, oh, I'm a good actor, I'm a good dancer, I'm a good blah, blah, blah. The minute you sublimate and completely annihilate the ego, he and I, we came to a plane where our ideas kind of met in the air and no words had to be exchanged and things just flowed. And I know that people with less of an eye or less of a parak will be like, "अरे ये ऐसा वो वाला character कर लेते हैं ना." To be fair, I was offered another character before, um, but that would not have been a surprise for me to do. It had a shade of gray, and there was as opposed to this character. Like at the screening itself, I met a journalist, a regional journalist, who was kind of like, "I'm not used to seeing you like a doormat," but I was like, "Well, a woman in the 1940s with literally no agency, no escape, no knowledge of the world outside of this quota, who's been sort of chained to this gilded cage from the age of 6. How is she going to respond? She's not going to respond like me of 2024, having my education and my background and whatever. She's going to respond very differently. She is going to take to the bottle. She is going to feel humiliated. She's going to be completely okay making a fool of herself in public, even if just to get the respectability of a last name. And it's obvious that this guy in the past has said, "Yes, I will marry you. Yes, I will be with you." That's why it's so hard for her to believe that it's actually he's showing her down by inviting her to his own wedding with another woman. So I loved that aspect. It was kind of very Pakiza-esque for me, in which the last song from which was actually, I think, filmed after Meena Kumari ji's death, which Mumtaz has done with a veil on her head in white,
That's
called
right.
"आज हम अपने निगाहों का असर
Right.
देखेंगे." So I really wanted to go into this experience feeling like a lost, hopeless woman, and yet I wanted to come out of it with dignity. That's why when when whatever happens in that very dramatic exchange between Manisha Koirala ji and Adhe and Suman,
Adyan, yeah,
I
amazing. That's another terrific scene.
yeah, yeah, I had a laugh at the end of it because who are these men to judge these
Yeah,
women?
exactly.
Who are these men to judge these women who use them, abuse them, promise them, lie to them? And so yeah, really wanted to do this part because it's kind of like special, like dessert. It leaves you wanting more, but you know you can't have more.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed the experience, and I would work with him again in a heartbeat.
In fact, talking about that scene, your reaction was so
Hmm.
unexpected in that moment. I
Yeah.
wonder, was that your own interpretation of the reaction, or was it a sort of a collaboration with Bansali? It was so
Oh,
unexpected, and yet it felt so real. That
it was
half
very
laugh and whatever.
Yeah, laughing through the tears. The thing is, it actually funny thing about that particular shot is
Huh,
it's not it wasn't meant to be on me, so to speak. It was like a three shot,
right,
and it was mostly for them. And see, this is the thing with Mr. Bansali. He's not gonna tell you how to respond in the moment. He was like,
right.
"You're in the center of the frame, but these two are having an exchange. They're talking about their lives, and but my eye will go to you, so just listen." And then in that moment, you have to listen with your entire being, like, "Oh, this man is not who he thinks he is. How funny. This woman who, and how funny my life is that I'm in this mehfil with these." And in that moment, it's kind of like very meta because you are it is like overtime, and there are 300 extras who are watching you get humiliated again and again, and in that experience, and then it's just everything just comes together. It was not meant to be, it wasn't supposed to be like that, but it just, and that's the thing about a director like that. When that laugh came out, he was like, that laugh is so precious, I'm just going to
Yeah,
use it. It's such a precious laugh.
yeah,
And surprisingly, in the screenings that we were in, like recently we
yeah.
had a premiere 2 days ago. Uh, there was spontaneous like applause both at the end of the dance and at the end of that particular shot,
I can imagine.
which was
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah, it's amazing
No, but I can
validation for me.
imagine. Yeah, it is, isn't it? It's so wonderful for an actor to see that. I mean, it's
Yeah,
box office is great, but this is
yeah.
also wonderful.
I mean, box office is great. I don't think I would have been here if, if Gangs of Wasipur wasn't successful or Fukre wasn't successful.
Okay,
So much
wasn't
work
successful.
one does, yeah, goes unnoticed if it's not, marketed in the right way or released in the right way. I would say I give my jaan on every character that I do, but sometimes it doesn't, pan out.
Yeah,
But my
yeah,
only hope from this whole thing is, like you say, someone looks back 20 or 30 years later, and they realize that, okay, this girl's always been experimenting, always been taking
yeah,
chances, and, just been evolving through the process. What else does it mean to,
absolutely. And what has
yeah.
it been? More than 15 years now in the industry, isn't it?
It will be 15, yeah, with Oy Lucky. Although my real
Very
break came
lucky,
with
lucky
Gangs of
oil.
Wasipur.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a
Oil
fantastic
Lucky
role
was
to begin with.
really, yeah, I mean, that Dolly, unforgettable, right?
Yeah, I love that character. But see, again, the director was Dibakar, and
Yeah,
he would let me. The lines were straight up. The lines were not, you know, it was not meant to be pronounced hot. It was meant to be pronounced hot. It was not somebody who's struggling with English, but I knew that I was traveling in the, DOU special with
yeah.
like with girls from Atmaram College and Khalsa College evening, and I was from St. Stephen. And I was constantly observing them and seeing how they would talk and how their English would sound and how there was an aspirational quality to all of it, and how there was snobbery from my college mates towards
Your
them.
college, especially. Yeah.
Yeah, my God. And we were having the same experiences, being asked out by boys and going to have Maggie and momos with them. But how they would respond was so like they would be like, मेरी तो डेथ हो गई, मेरे को तो मेंटल टेंशन से डेथ हो गई, उसने मुझे प्रपोज कर दिया और मैं तो मरी गई. And it was such a delightful accent to sort of tap into. I'm really happy I got like Dibakar, like he got it instantly. And I remember after one scene in a nightclub where I was like, I am matlab ke only vegetable. And he understand. He was like, I hope this industry is kind to you and understand what you bring to the table. It was such a special message to receive from a director. Yeah.
So has the industry been kind to you, Richa?
I would think so because I literally have not followed one rule and I still have some degree of relative success and
Yeah.
credibility. I live a
Relevance.
good life. Huh?
Relevance. That's the most important thing, isn't it? To be relevant.
Yes. To be relevant, to have relevance, though, I want to credit my amazing PR team also. I think people often just, want to say I'm self-made, but I'd like, just wonderful to work with people who understand your potential and you work with them over 10 years and they see how you need to be presented even to the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's not like I've not made mistakes and not done bad scripts, but it's never been out of a bad intention. It's always been like, okay, let me see if I can say something with this. And then if it's not worked out because someone's mooching off money from the budget and all, then I know that I did my best and it's it's someone else's fault.
Yeah.
But I do think the industry's been very kind to me in terms of how they respond to me. I've literally like played an old woman, a sister, a bhabhi, a gundi. I mean, I should not be here. I should not be
Right.
here with my attractive husband and being able to be in this position where I produce and still have like this is my day job, it's my bread and butter. I should not be here, but I am, and I think I will be for a long time, and
Oh,
it's all
yes.
thanks to the
For
industry.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
And I see a very long career for you, Richa. And I see, even when I saw Hira Mandi, I saw people playing different ages, younger women
yeah,
playing older women playing younger women. There's a lot more
yeah.
flexibility. That sort of age, being defined by age is no longer the most important thing about a woman in the industry, I think.
Yeah, I think that it's high time because it
Yeah.
also feels
About
really
time. Yeah.
about time. And without naming names, I want to say it's very awkward to see a 60-year-old man
Yeah.
in really like chhapri clothes, with
Right.
a like a mesh vest and a jacket and like jewelry. And I
Yeah.
just, it's not about dressing your age because Snoop Dogg is in his 60s and he dresses
Yeah.
how he does, but he dresses to his personality. He
Right.
doesn't dress in order to appear a certain age or so that's the thing I find a little bit cringe. And I'm really happy that this age thing is no longer there. So uh, you know, we have people like I read a profile piece on I think Shefali Shah after the Emmy
Yeah.
announcement for Delhi Crime. And it kind of said if you stick around long enough, you get to see Shefali Shah getting her due. And
Yeah.
I was like, how true is that line? How it might even be a little bit underhanded, but it's true,
It's
you
true.
know. Yeah, and it's wonderful, and I want to work with people who are
Yeah.
exceptionally like how good is the girl in Girls Will Be Girls, Preeti
Oh,
Panigrahi.
amazing. Yeah. Out of
What a
nowhere.
find
But then
output,
again, how
find.
good is Tani Kusruti as well, whom we've
Tani Kusruti, I
yeah,
am jealous
she's
of
a
her
goddess.
talent.
Yeah.
I am jealous of her talent. I keep messaging her saying, I'm jealous of your talent. I'm
She's
legit jealous of
amazing.
her range and
Yeah.
what a year she's having with her
Amazing.
film and Palmador. It's
Yeah.
insane. It's
But see,
insane.
about
I mean,
time, right? We've seen her for so
yeah.
long in small
Yeah.
roles here, there, everywhere. Suddenly, you know, everyone's woken up to her.
I hope people, well, the thing is, we had a lot of pressure to cast a name actor and like a name debutante and all for girls. And there was even this thinking, why don't you change the character a little bit? Why don't you only do it? If you do it, we'll give you money for the film also. But I just put my foot down. I was like, no way, it's not going to happen. And these people, like the girls, the kids in the film, Dilip Shankar, who's an excellent casting director, stays out of the
Absolutely.
rut of Bollywood. Um, he found them through like Preeti, I believe, got a flyer in her college saying there's a film
Wow.
they're auditioning for. And what a find! What a
Yeah,
find that girl is. Like
amazing.
I just feel very grateful that both of them agreed to do the film. How special that director is, Shuchi
Yeah,
Talatri, and everything about it is
amazing.
so measured, so beautiful, so just beautiful.
But that's it, that's it, Richard. Also paying it forward and creating an ecosystem whereby you're not just doing it for yourself, but you're also sort of
Yeah.
discovering talent in various ways. So,
Mm.
okay, I've just been told we have to wrap it. Just the last couple of
We only
questions.
have
So,
like 5 minutes left
yeah.
anyway. It's fine.
So,
Yeah.
creating a sort of ecosystem where you are also able to create more work for others and especially women, that's I mean,
Mm.
that's a difficult thing, but you seem to be doing it well. But it
I
is
want to do
difficult.
it more. I want to cast like I, in an ideal world, would love for something to have Amrita Subhash and Konkana and Tilottama
Yeah.
Shom and like Vidya Balan and Dia Mirza and Shabana Azmi in one show,
One
in one
movie.
series.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
because I feel like there's so much talent out there
Yeah.
that has, come to be defined by how the dinosaurs of the industry are viewing these women, and what they even do to the younger ones is kind of I would say it's a form of cruelty. Like I think what happened to me even after gangs is a form of cruelty because like for people to assume that I can't speak in English or I'm not, young or attractive just because I chose to play a part in which everyone was aging. The men were
Yeah.
aging.
Yeah.
My co-stars were all aging. Everyone was aging through it. But just for an actor not be able to have the freedom to make that choice to play this part. I mean, I to be fair only got it because five other people said no. you know so I just think it's like what is done even to, and you realize it much later on, if the premium is constantly on youth and you're constantly being objectified and sexualized way beyond your years and sort of and you're extracted and you kind of feel hollow like when you're 30. I've been through that even like it's not like I didn't try. I tried, I did one film which was very kind of hyper sexy and whatever, and I don't think I enjoyed it, and I don't think I felt like myself at the end of it. So it's kind of
This was the
it's
Silk
important
Smita
for
film,
a
the Silk Smita
no,
one.
that was a nightmare. I feel like everyone involved in it was had the worst intentions right from the beginning that I was perhaps not able to see because of my naive. But no, it was another one with I'll tell you off record, otherwise I'll start getting calls from fragile men. But the thing is, yeah, it's not about paying it forward. It's about seeing this like beautiful diamond in the rough and being like, why is no one just because they don't have a last name? And I'm sick of like a lot of like offsprings of the industry, like polished, surgically changed and
Yeah.
forced down our throat as some kind of this is it, this is the it girl of now, and she's so attractive. It's cruel to them. It's a completely disrespectful to the rest of the people, you know. So yeah,
But
that's kind of where I am at.
I do hope that we will be in a different age soon. If there are more
Yeah.
people like you, I think it
I
will
think
happen.
there are more people like me.
Yeah,
I would
yeah,
definitely do not feel alone in my conversations with people and how they respond not just to me but to to the changing ecosystems. I think there are more people like me.
yeah,
Just right now we're in a bit of a flux. I feel like
yeah.
because post-COVID the industry is still trying to find its bearings and trying to see what works at the box office, and at the same time is not like I mean, Animal is working, sure. Pathan and Jawan are working, yes. But
But so
also
is
12th,
Lapata Ladies, 12th Fail.
yes,
These are little
yes, 12th
films,
fail.
but so beautiful.
Yeah. So I think that gives me a lot of hope, and I will continue, and it'll be, I think, amazing.
So many congratulations also on the forthcoming little baby who will come
Ah,
through
yes,
the Chadda
yes.
Fazal collaboration.
The true home production. Yeah, it'll
So
be
many
fun.
congratulations and a wonderful part in Neera Mandi and of course everything else that you do. Thank you so much, Richa Chadha. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kaveri. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much.